Good morning! EIFS, what is it? Exterior insulation and finishing system. Whether or not you're aware of it, you've seen this before, and I'm gonna show you how to fix it. I hope you ate your breakfast. Okay, same stuff, different day. We gonna fix some holes. I think in this instance, we're just gonna be using the Dryvit and some cement, patch the holes, and get to painting. Gonna have to see what condition this Dryvit's in. I accidentally let it freeze. Yeah, okay, maintained itself. Sometimes, I'm guessing it's dependent on the product, but if you let this stuff freeze, it is no good. Holy moly, it's windy. Bloop. More maybe. Now remember, if you mix this stuff up too dry, you can always add a little water to soften it back up. This stuff is pretty pasty. We might have to do that at one point. And that's okay. All right, water bucket. I've got the wind in my hair. I've got the wind. All right, let's move. Safety first. Okay, so there used to be a bracket holding on the lettering right here. You can see an indent. Now if I paint over this, you'll still see that. So I need to apply more material right here, smooth it out, and that way we can make it disappear. Hopefully. It's hard to cross your fingers in gloves. Pro tip. Shit. Looks like there was a little bit of an indentation at the top too. So just to cover my bases. Don't press too hard or you'll pull away the material. Next. Now, as you can probably see, there's a whole bunch of marks left from the old sign that was up here some time ago. I'm not going to be dealing with that. My job is only to patch and repair where the most recent signage was. If they want me to handle them things, I can pay a little more. Boom. It's a good thing we put a tarp down. Boy, I just heard a woman come out of the store and say there's going to be hurricane force winds. Hurricane force winds in Jasper, Indiana. Tornado, maybe. Riddle me this. Are hurricane force winds and tornado force winds the same? Google it and get back to me. Dang, so this one's got a pretty big indent up here. I might need to get out a larger applicator to smooth this thing over. You ever wonder how much time you waste just looking for your tools? This is a problem. Whatever, I'll make it work. Yeah, just have fun with it. Excuse me. Wetting it up a little bit. Wet it before you spread it. Caught like a stone in there or something. The more you play with it, the greater the chance that you're just gonna mess it up. I found. Yeah, that might be good. I'm good with that. Move on. Starting to get those pre-storm vibes. Weather's getting a little sketchy. I might just have to go grab a paint sample, go get a match, and potentially paint this tomorrow. Because I think it's gonna rain. When you get up close to it, there's all kinds of discoloration. This is a different color than this. This is a different color than that, and so on. I'm gonna take out a piece here, and that's gonna be what we go off of. I'm burning through that one pretty good. The forever handy 5-in-1 tool. Lovely. And after we get a match, we'll stick that bad boy right back in the wall with some glue, patch it up with our Stucco mix. Bob's your uncle.
How can I help you today, sir?
How are you at Stucco matches?
All right.
What are we thinking? I don't know, man. But we won't know until it goes on the wall. So we'll see how well it turns out. Worst case scenario, we just have to paint the whole wall, which isn't a huge deal. At least that way it'll give us a nice uniform look on the storefront instead of it being kind of a patchy or inconsistent paint job. Only one way to find out. Give it a shot. A little sprinkle fairy's coming. It's a sprinkling. Yeah. We'll let that dry till tomorrow and come back in the morning. Okay, so yesterday was a complete wash. It started raining at about 5 o'clock the day before, and yesterday it rained and snowed the entire day through. So I got to sit around and do nothing. It is what it is, but today's sunny and it should be good to go. Gonna knock this thing out, move on to the next one. Don't forget your little pin. Gotta put that pin right in. And up she goes. Here we go. Flavor of the day, latitude, because it's cold. Buckets. I'm gonna use some of this for a little secret project. I'll show you later. 1 gallon. Bucket hook. Can't live without a bucket hook. Where's my roller? We're gonna need a brush eventually. There's the big boy. Great. Ugh. It's always best to mix all of your paint together in one place. The reason it's so important to mix all of your paint together to ensure a homogeneous color, even though they're the same product, mixed the same color. There are times when there can be a slight difference between the two, and it ruins your whole day. Ask me how I know. You might get to the point of almost finished, crack the new gallon, put it up there, and come to find that there's a slight variance in color. And that, my friends, will ruin your day. Should probably put a tarp down first. This is what the smart ones do, so you don't get paint on the ground like that. Now, whether or not this tarp will stay still remains to be seen, for it is still a widow windy. Just a widow. Let's put some gloves on too. Delightful. For even though they are similar colors, I'm going to have to paint what they call the globe, is the big circle, and the raceway, the thing that the letter's attached to. Need to paint them the same color as the stucco. They don't like it when you skip that step. Globe, raceway. Okay. Stark contrast. Don't worry, it will darken up. How close it will be revealed in time. Ooh, something smells like garlic. Now I'm hungry. Temperature-wise, it's a little cold, but the sun is shining directly onto the paint, and the wind is blowing. Hopefully, the combination of both will help this dry in a good amount of time, so I'm not stuck waiting around watching paint dry, because I need to take photos of the finished product to send up the chain. It's okay to not get the tippy top, because it looks like there's some kind of vital information printed up there. Also, unless you're flying in a helicopter dangerously close to the building, you ain't never gonna see it. Neat. Let's go to our next move. You're good. You know what? I'm gonna set you guys down. So our patch was right here. And I think texture-wise, it matches pretty good. Yeah, when you paint over that, you can't hardly tell it was ever. You won't be able to tell there was damage there at all. Now, as you can likely tell, because you have eyes and you're smart, that even where it's dry in that top left corner, there's still gonna be a large difference between the painted and unpainted areas. But as you can also tell over there is a lot of discoloration to begin with. And what I'm painting is gonna make it all nice and one consistent color. And the higher ups have been made aware of that, and they're still good. I'm guessing they're gonna likely want me to come back in the future and paint this whole thing and that whole thing right there. But in the meantime, this is what we're dealing with, so whatever. Yep, a little bit of a difference, but what are you gonna do? That's what they asked me to find out if they want to spend the extra money to make it all one color. So I've got this weird problem that when I'm driving down the freeway at 60, 70, 150 miles an hour, the holes from the rungs on the ladder on top of my truck whistle loudly, very loudly. and it is absolutely obnoxious to drive around hundreds of miles listening to. So a guy told me, why not just fill the gaps with this stuff, this great stuff? So we're gonna give it a try. Twist on the dinghy. Don't mind the tape on my sunroof here. It's an old truck, and the seal on the sunroof doesn't work very well anymore, especially in the car wash. It'll pour out from here and here like a waterfall. Don't get that on the truck, dude. That'll never come off. Like whipped cream topping. Only really need to go halfway up. Also a fun fact, this will keep the bees from laying nests inside there, because that's a fun surprise too. Could be smarter to do this on the ground, where I don't run the risk of getting stuff all over my roof of the truck. Dude, this shit got on my windshield. Oh no. You gotta get out the alcohol. Boom, gone. Gonzo. Up to 55 miles an hour and I don't hear those ladders whistling. You know, it's funny, I've seen people put foam inside the rungs of their ladders before. I told myself I'd get around to do it, but that's how stupid I am. I forget to do things, and then I never do things, and then I pretend like I never heard of it before. Years later, years! This has taken me years to do. I've been driving around the countryside for years with these damn things whistling in my ear so loud. You can't have a phone conversation so loud, like violently, angry loud. Can't hear myself think. Half the time I would just wear my headphones so I don't have to hear the noise. I mean, it's like, remember those toys when you were little? You'd spin them in a circle. It was like a rope. It was a tube, a plastic tube. You'd spin it and it would howl at you. It's like that, except 100 times worse. My God, this has changed my life. I am a changed man. This is incredible. It is blowing my mind. It was worth the mess. And I made a mess. Also, the lady at Subway gave me a free cookie. It's a good day. Word to the wise, just put the foam in the rungs on the ground. That stuff expands, okay? And it expands good. And it's the stickiest stuff you'll ever touch in your life. Anyways,